To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris, and you listen to a podcast that believes in dreams, that places trust in the magic of imagination. That is always the first start of the right, and where the light is always on. Join as we discuss the views from Walt's apartment.
Hello and welcome to a special Walt's Apartment Presents. We are bringing you the tribe. It's Sam, and I am joined today by Sean from Magic on Main Street. Sean, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you? How's everything going?
Great. Channel's doing great. Podcast is doing
Good.
great.
That's
Before we
nice.
get started, let's tell everybody about your podcast, though, because
Yeah, for sure.
if they're here for the tribe content, they may not have heard about you. So tell us about Magic on Main Street.
Absolutely. And before I do that, it doesn't show that we're recording on my screen.
We are.
Okay, good.
It says, and yeah.
Okay, good. I just didn't want that to get too far before. Okay, cool.
No, that would have been
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, so my family and I host a podcast called Magic on Main Street, and it's we've been doing it for about 6 years now, and it all kind of started because we were going to Disneyland so often, and people were always asking us, like, where's the best this, or how do I do that? And so we were like, well, we're talking about it anyway, let's record it and see what happens. And people seem to like it. Our podcast has been doing great for the 6 years it's been on. We in the past year have converted it to a video show as well. So we're on YouTube and the channel's doing great. And we do a lot of content on our Instagram. So just everything Disney. We like to talk a lot about food, which led me to creating an app recently called Festival Foodie. And it's just kind of like the latest and greatest foods from all the festivals at the theme parks. So currently we're in Halloween. So I was just kind of like super frustrated because there's so much food and I wanted to try all of it, but I didn't know where to start. And I couldn't remember what I've had and what was coming back. And so I was like, I'm just going to make this for myself. And so basically it lists everything for any festival that's going on at the parks. I'm trying to figure out how to put in regular items as well. But the main reason I did it was for a checklist. So I can kind of check things off as I go. And so if you're in there and you see an item that you've tried, you check it off, it'll prompt you to leave a review and rating. That way people in the community can see what's a hit, what's a miss, and what they should and shouldn't try.
So you said it's called Festival Foodie?
Festivalfoodieapp.com is where you can find that.
So I expect all of those foodie Instagrammers to be using hashtag Festival Foodie.
I hope so.
On their post so that we know what they're trying and what they have left to try. Let's see that.
That's right.
It's such a it's a crazy market when it comes to Disney food as far as social media goes. So I think that's
really is. It really, and I got kind of frustrated because there's so many people talking about it and everybody has their own tastes, right? But it seemed like so many people were just raving about anything and everything because, trying to get into Disney.
It gets you likes, right?
Yeah. And so it's like, I wanted to talk about what really was good. I had a drink one time and everybody was raving about it. And I'm like, this is not really good. And as soon as I posted that, everybody's like, yeah, you're right. It's not, it's trash. And so I'm trying to it's kind of like the Yelp of.
Was it the green milk?
No, it was actually the Baja Blast alcohol beverage at Award Weekend a few months ago. And it tastes just like Baja Blast. I'm like, no, it doesn't. So once people start to realize that, everybody has their own opinions, but also there's some people that are kind of inflating their, the way things are. And so I just want something real. I want it crowdsourced and I want people to say, what is and what isn't good. And we can trust the community instead.
So is there an opportunity to rate the snack?
Yes, you can rate it on 1 to 5 stars and you can leave your own review. So, if you rated it a 1, you can say, I rated it a 1 because, it's, it doesn't taste like meat, or it tastes too much like meat. Whatever that situation is.
That's crazy, but I think that's a brilliant idea. So I'm gonna have to check it out myself.
I love it. It's my favorite thing right now. I'm just trying to get as many things reviewed as possible.
Authentic reviews.
Yeah.
So, do you get to record any Marvel content for your channel?
Not really. My wife and daughter enjoy Marvel. Like my daughter is a huge Captain America fan. But we don't really, it doesn't really cross over. I have a friend that I did a podcast with, kind of like what we're doing here, where we were talking about Marvel things, but it doesn't really cross over into our show unless it's like we're talking about a new show coming to like Disney Plus or something. Or we go and see a new movie and we talk about it just a little bit, but we've never really gotten into like movie or show reviews, which I want to, but I don't know if if
the family's on board.
Yeah. So, and I don't have time to start a new podcast. I already have 3. So.
Yeah, I was say we have a few over here, so that's why we're doing a Walt's Apartment Presents the Tribe, because we don't have time to put full tribe content out the way that we used to. So thank you for being here and joining me today.
Of course. I'm honored to be here. We had done a show, we had done a Walt's Apartment show, and I had so much fun, and it was so nice to meet you, and we clicked instantly over the Marvel thing.
Sean was like, I could watch you two talk Marvel all day. We need to make this happen. So
I'm glad that we were able to connect.
All right. I do have a question. You said daughter is a Cap fan. Is she a Steve Rogers Cap fan?
She is a Steve Rogers fan, not so much Captain America. She's a Steve Rogers fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I tend to notice there's some that just like Steve, some that just like Sam, and some who are just Cap in general.
Yeah, and it was really hard for her because, when Brave New World came out, or when the mantle was passed, people were saying, "Oh, new Captain America," and she's like, "That's not Captain America." And I was like, "Well, it is." And she's like, I love Sam. She loves Sam. She thinks he's an amazing character, and everything he's done in the MCU thus far, she loves. However, it's not her Captain America.
She will get there once we get more Isaiah Bradley content. I'm sure she will get there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, if you know from the comics.
Yeah.
We are about to get some crazy cool things with the introduction of characters from that series. So,
and I really hope they do something special with that, because it's such a special story, I think.
It is. Okay. Foodie ratings on your app.
Yeah.
We watched Marvel Zombies. That's what we're going to be covering in this episode. We're only doing the first 2 episodes.
Yes.
So rating 1 to 10, 10 being the best thing you've ever seen. Where do you stand on Marvel Zombies episodes 1 and 2?
So because I knew that you and I were going to be doing this show, I have only watched episodes 1 and 2. I've kept everything away from my eyes because I wanted to make sure that I could talk to you just about what we were talking about. So that said, so far it's like a 9. I don't give 10s very often. So this is absolutely like high up on my scale, because, one, the animation style I think is phenomenal. It's amazing. And the story building they've done, up through the end of episode 2 is so like well thought out. The characters that they brought in as the heroes versus who the zombies are is so smart, because, you would assume, Captain America or, some of the bigger names are going to be the stars of the show. And they kind of pulled what they did with Thunderbolts. It's kind of like a ragtag crew. Some of the, what you would consider kind of like the B squad. Yeah. And they're killing it. I think it's great.
Because we're bringing in a new wave of superheroes. We have the Young Avengers, New Avengers, Thunderbolts, and our Avengers, our traditional Avengers, they are no more.
Right.
And I know that's hard for people to accept. So I thought this was a great transition to kind of be like, hey, this is dead source material at this point. I'm sorry, but here's a new way to introduce these characters to you to make you be like, holy crap, this can be incredible.
For sure.
So the whole way I think the whole reason we got Marvel Zombies was because they did that zombie episode of What If, and everybody absolutely lost it and said, we need more of this.
Yeah.
So there is comic book lore for Marvel Zombies. I think it came out when I was in high school. So like 2006 to 2009-ish, that area is when we started getting Marvel Zombie comics. And it was actually tied to Fantastic Four. So
which didn't know. I didn't know that. I didn't even know there was a comic book series until What If came out.
Yeah. So it was connected to like Galactus, and the whole Fantastic Four was on another planet while Galactus was doing this whole zombie escapade, and like they had to come in and be the heroes. And it was, I haven't read all of the comics. I only have one. I have one here. I was talking to you about it before we went live. I only have one, but something that I love that this Marvel zombie series did, it did not hold back on the gore.
I love that.
Comic books are graphic, and this show is for mature audiences.
Yeah.
They did not hold back.
No, it was very heavy on the blood and guts. It was pretty gross. There was one scene, and I won't give it away until we start getting into it.
Go ahead. We can give it away. Go ahead.
The one scene in episode 1, well, for one, Blade Khonshu of all like I screamed. I screamed. I love Blade. I am such a big fan of Blade, and I can't wait to see, what they do with that character. If they do, I hope they do something. But anyway, in this series, there was a scene where Blade was going up against zombie Ghost, and gave her a stick and then just ripped her into pieces, like in like a second. Her. It was amazing, and it was so gory and so like brutal. And I was like, this is what Marvel is missing. It was cool.
Yes, it is. And I think that Marvel is going more towards that direction. Obviously, they have to play to the fact that there are younger audiences we're trying to bring into the MCU, because it really is, even with Star Wars, it's a generational thing that gets passed down. Same thing with Marvel.
Absolutely.
So we have to appeal to all audiences at some point, but I love that they're able to give us content where the mature audiences, the adults, can just experience and not have to think about like, oh, I can't show this to a kid. It's super graphic. So
and talking and still speaking on Blade, like, I didn't know at the time. I loved Marvel comic books when I was younger. So I was collecting more like when I was in like elementary, middle, and high school. And I graduated in 1997. I'm older. So that my comic books kind of came to an end after high school. I was just, doing nightclubs and doing adult things. And so I didn't stay involved with Marvel as much as I did. So it took me a long time to even realize that Blade was a Marvel property. Like I didn't really even understand that, but Blade was my favorite movie of that time, and it's carried over for a long time. So seeing him come back, but then also showing some things, from the Blade universe of gore, violence, a lot of blood. I was all for it. I loved it.
So we didn't get to see that when we saw Blade make his movie appearance into the MCU, and we're still unsure of whether like we get to see more Blade or not. We are all hoping for it.
I'm dying for it. I really hope that the joke was hilarious. There's only one Blade. Like that was really funny. Yes. But then at the same time, I was like, wait, I hope not, because we need somebody to carry on that mantle. Like we need more Blade.
And so like, even if it is just bringing it to us in an animated, like, What If or Marvel Zombies thing, like at least it's something that we didn't have before.
Yeah. And it also like, it was kind of refreshing to see it because, whether you realize it or not, Blade is kind of the bridge between superhero movie and gore, kind of horror-y movie, like.
Especially because we had Gore the God Butcher and they completely dropped the ball on that, because that should have been another bridge for us.
Yeah, for sure.
But they destroyed Gore for us. So that is my largest gripe with the MCU ever. I'm pretty sure is that they dropped the ball with Gore the God Butcher.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I know that they tried to do what was that show about young mutant? What was it? Where they were in the like the psych ward, and it was like kind of a horror show. What was that?
It was on Disney Plus.
No, it was before Disney Plus. Not New Mutants. What was it?
Was it Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No, it was all about like teenager mutiny kind of kids that were in a mental facility.
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
I'll have to think about it. But yeah, I feel like
something I would love to see.
It was good. I liked
mutant
it.
Fan. Huge mutant fan.
I liked it. Or was it a movie? dang it, I can't. It obviously wasn't that great.
Whatever
for me
it is,
to
I
get it.
want
Yeah.
I want to see it
But
now.
there was more like it felt like they were starting to cross over into a new genre, and I loved it. But then it kind of died. And I think that like you said, like it is a generational thing. Like there are people who have been reading comic books since the 70s or 80s or even 90s. And I think that Marvel became almost, I'm going to get flack for saying this, almost vanilla for a little while.
No,
to
it
where,
did. It did.
To where people were like, oh, it's just like a good wholesome superhero movie.
It's
And I'm like, yeah, but
Spider-Man.
that's not, yeah. And I'm like, but that's not the entirety of Marvel. It sure it had a lot of it, but there was so much more. And so again, seeing this in zombies where they're just like chopping people into bits and guts hanging out everywhere and people's heads exploding, like I bring it on. I'm all for it.
So I can say this to you, and I think that you will understand where I'm coming from. I am not a huge Spider-Man fan, and it's because I feel like Spider-Man does kind of whitewash over the rest of Marvel and takes away from it.
Yeah,
and it's not a bad thing. Like Spider-Man as a character is great,
sure.
but who we got as Spider-Man in the MCU, it's just too kosher, too cutesy. And that's where most of the MCU gravitates to, like the fans. Everybody's like Spider-Man. Kids' first introduction into Marvel is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, Spider-Man is great, but there's so much more. My daughter's first introduction was WandaVision.
Oh,
she was a 4-year-old.
Great.
She was a 4-year-old, and she used to do commentary on our Tribe podcast, giving her opinions on what happened during WandaVision episodes. It was probably my favorite. And that's another good
example of like them kind of like straying from that line, and because it wasn't horror per se, but it was more like psychological thriller kind of stuff. But I think like it feels like, to your point, it feels like Spider-Man is like the equalizer. It's like, okay, we put out something a little bit edgy because the Avengers cinematic run got really dark. Like it started off like with Captain America, it was a little bit dark kind of to start, but then it kind of got a little bit like, Iron Man was kind of the great hope of the world. And it was kind of like, super inspirational. And then towards the end, it was getting like super dark with, when they introduced Wanda and they introduced, Age of Ultron was really, millions of people being killed and stuff. Like it was dark. And so it felt like to me that it was like Spider-Man was a palate cleanser. And it's like, okay, go put this ginger on your tongue and clean out all of the bad stuff with the Avengers.
No, you're exactly right. You are exactly right. And we were, I will say I was concerned, and I know other fans were concerned when Disney did have the merger with Marvel and they acquired Marvel. We were like, oh shit, Disney is going to princess this. Disney is going to, take all of the action away from us. They're going to, they're going to make it superheroes are the best thing ever. And there's nothing dark. There's nothing sinister that's, to be battled with. And we thought they were going to just like princessify Marvel. And thank God they have not. No. Because they are doing incredible. Kevin Feige, he's friggin' genius.
He's a saint. He has brought so much life to these characters off of the page. Just
like the comic book lore that we now get to taste in the actual MCU, I geek so hard.
Yeah, and even if it's not like true to the book's lore, like sometimes they're just bringing in enough Easter eggs to where you go, I know that, and that's nice. And then, things like, I was super nervous about Deadpool because I'm like, they're going to whitewash this so bad.
Nope.
And they didn't. And I was like, okay, maybe everything we thought was wrong,
Yes.
So I'm hoping that they keep doing things like this where, I think Marvel Zombies is the next installation of like, hey, we can be edgy too. I'm just, but I'm also looking forward to, or I guess expecting some palate cleansers with like the new Spider-Man coming out again.
And that's okay because like we do want them to appeal to a large audience.
Yeah.
because that's how they keep making money, to keep bringing us
Exactly.
the
If
things
they're
that
making
we
money, they're
want.
going to stick around for a while. Yeah,
Do
yeah, yeah.
it. Yes.
Yeah, do it.
So
Keep it.
for
And
me
also,
personally,
but also, I love the Spider-Man movies. Like
I do too.
I
He's
was
just not my favorite.
wishy-washy. Sure, absolutely. I was wishy-washy with the older Spider-Man movies. Like I liked Tobey Maguire and I liked Andrew Garfield. I thought they were good. I thought they did great as Peter
So
Parker.
you're a Tom Holland fan?
I am a Tom Holland fan.
Okay.
And not so much as Spider-Man. I think he's the perfect Peter Parker. That's why I like him so much, because he's bumbly and he's goofy and he also looks more like a kid than anyone else, I think.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, Tobey Maguire is so serious and
Yeah.
stern and put together.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's a friggin' like 16-year-old, like, who doesn't, he's a kid. He doesn't even know how to get to his next class.
Right.
He's Spider-Man. Like,
Yeah.
he's a child.
Yeah. I didn't get enough like vulnerability out of Tobey. But I still loved him in that role. I love a Tobey Spider-Man. I really do. Yeah. But if I had to rank them, it would be Tom, Andrew, Tobey.
All right. So you gave your rating. You said 9 out of 10 for the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I have already watched everything.
Okay.
And for me, it is a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
For the entire series.
Okay. That's good to hear.
I dropped it in our absolutely free Discord. You have not seen. Oh, I'm not even going to spoil it for you.
Okay.
But we get some incredible things in the next couple episodes.
I'm really excited.
I'm excited for you to see them.
Just like with I got a taste, because how many episodes are there? There's 8.
I haven't seen all 8. Are there 8? Did they only release 4?
Or was it 4?
I think it's 4 that they've released already.
So, so seeing the ones that I've seen, like I've already seen so much. You've got
they pulled from every single inch of the comics and MCU and said, "Here you go." With a pretty bow on it.
And within a very short amount of time, like the intro to episode 1, like just, the first few seconds, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Like, this is great. And, but then also realizing like, okay, they're bringing in some smaller players. Like I love Riri. I love Kamala.
And they gave her such a prime role. So they're bringing in those young Avengers, new Avengers
and like,
that,
good for you. It was so good. And, what was the Iron Man?
Friday.
Friday, yeah. Friday.
The intelligence that is in the suit that is following Riri around belonged to Tony Stark at one point, and it is Friday.
Friday was really good. I loved that they brought that in, but then seeing Kamala being kind of like the main character of the first episode, but then bringing in Yelena and Red Guardian and all the daughters there. Like that was such a cool storyline. And
showing how self-sacrificial they are for the mission, which is something we don't see. We do not.
If I have to see Red Guardian cry one more time, it's going to break me.
Right.
But then, at into season or episode 2, like Namor, sick. So sick. Like it made so much sense. And it was so sick. Yeah.
Listen, you do realize Namor is my favorite comic book character of all time.
You told me last time.
I watched. So Lewis, who used to host the Marvel Tribe with me, his favorite is Moon Knight.
Yeah.
So I'm watching and I see Blade and Khonshu.
Which was so crazy.
For those of you who don't know, Khonshu is one of the multiple personalities of Moon Knight. So that's essentially Blade's multiple personality in Marvel Zombies, which is so crazy to me, but it was perfect. It was perfect. Like, did not see that coming at all.
No. Well, when they first pan to him, I see a guy in a Moon Knight costume, a Moon Knight uniform, and I was like, Moon Knight. Okay, they made a variant of Moon Knight. Cool. I liked Moon Knight. It was fun. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as he opened his mouth, I was like, that's Blade. And then he said who he was. And I was like, wait a minute, what is happening? And he is now the vessel for Khonshu. And I don't know. I hope I get to see a little bit more of that, because, I don't have the full story, but him channeling Khonshu and then having like the premonitions and things like that of like, what's going to come, like when he's like, get down. What? Get down.
Yes. Yeah. So there does come a point where he says, well, he doesn't tell me everything.
Yeah. Yeah. which is
Well,
so fun. Which is, I think, when you have a
well, when you
crossover
get to
character
that
like
scene, I can't wait to hear your thoughts
I can't
because
wait.
I'm just going to say
Can't wait.
there's a feast.
Okay, cool.
That's all I'm going to
stoked.
say. So let's jump right to the beginning. So
Sure.
perfect timing for Disney Plus to release this because last year at this time we got Agatha All Along. And, this is another spooky season vibe that they're giving us, playing off of the success that they had for the What If series. And as you said, it focuses very heavily on Kamala. So we essentially get to see her reaching into the chest of a pilot and pulling out this device that we found out is then been shrunk, but it will call the Nova Corps because the entire world has been taken over by flesh-eating zombies.
Yes.
And we very early on get to see all of our favorite Avengers and other MCU characters as zombies, other than select few. So those select few are going to be attempting to work together in this series to try and find a cure for the planet to kind of eradicate the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Kamala is the heart of that operation. So she has this device that she needs to try to get to outer space to connect to the Nova Corps so that the Nova Corps can help eradicate this problem. And I am not going to spoil what happens at the end because my friend Sean here has not seen it. But I think it's a premise for a great story. I love that they used her.
Yeah, absolutely.
So she is hanging out with Riri Williams. They have Tony Stark technology with them Friday, as we talked about. I think one of my favorite scenes in the first in the first episode is when Riri basically self-sacrifices to help Kamala escape an attack. And Friday gets Kamala out because Riri realizes that Kamala is so integral to this operation of saving the planet that Riri sacrifices herself, has Friday take Kamala away. And then Friday he says, I've already lost one owner. I'm not going to lose another.
Yeah. And
then flies back to fight with Riri. And I thought that was a very touching moment.
It was. And in that same moment, Kate Bishop was there for like 3 seconds.
Oh yeah. I totally forgot to even get into Hawkeye is weird and stalking everybody in New York City.
Right.
The Hawkeye zombie is probably the weirdest thing ever, but that is your introduction to, hey, we're in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, it's bizarre. But yeah, Kate Bishop is not a huge role, which kind of I don't know. I don't know if I didn't like it or I don't know if I cared enough, but it just felt like she was there and gone really quickly. I think I blinked and she was gone. And but before that or around that same time when Riri got bit, it was maybe 5 minutes into the show.
Yeah.
And it was wait a minute, are we already going to have to deal with a sacrifice this early on?
Yes.
And we sure did. And it was sad because she was like, you know what? I'm gone. I'm done. So you go take care of what you have to take care of. So yeah.
I'm going to tell you, we have seen self-sacrifice in Marvel forever.
Yeah.
These first 4 episodes, we're only talking about 2 today, but the first 4 episodes of Marvel Zombies, the self-sacrifice is insane.
It's a lot.
Insane.
Yeah.
And Sean, you've only seen 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So
I'm already heartbroken.
It's so much more. So much more. So the device that they found, Riri found out that it was a transmitter created by Shields, and then it was for transgalactic broadcast, and it was shrunk using quantum energy, and Shield just had to get it somewhere safe. It was part of Project Life Shot, which was a Shield effort to save the planet. And in order to crack the device, she needed a Shield motherboard. So they are trying to find a Shield ship to get them to space so that they can plug it in and connect to the Nova Corps.
Yeah.
I don't even know what else to say. The first episode was crazy.
I it's
a badass.
because Like it's kind of like the same with like Wanda. Like,
yes,
you love her as a hero, and then you're like, oh damn, she's gonna be a really good villain. Like she's kind of like the mouthpiece for the Queen of the Dead, which is Wanda Maximoff.
Wanda, yeah.
And there was a scene. So when they went and met the survivors at the Ohio base, the Shield base, it was Yelena, Red Guardian, Melina Vostokoff, and then all the daughters. But something that was like really confusing is as they're pulling up, Blade had Kamala with him, and there's all these zombies, and they're not attacking. And I was like, okay, so maybe they have somebody on the inside that can control them. Well, it was more scientific than it was magical, and they were able to control this horde of zombies. And when Melina was inside and being attacked by that large group,
and she uses like the tempad or whatever it is,
shut down this whole group of zombies using science. And Okoye comes out and was like, oh, you can control the zombies. She's like, I control it with science. And then she goes get ready to meet the dead, or meet the Queen of the Dead. And I was like, oh god, like this is insane. It was crazy.
Yeah. That was a great scene, and that was another sacrifice. Another sacrifice. Like almost immediately, like 15 minutes into the show, you've got another sacrifice. I'm trying to think about where else to go in that episode. Anything else you want to point out?
There was the oh yes, there is something I absolutely want to touch on. Zombie Captain America. So he pops his head up at one point when they're kind of like, so Blade was like, they're here. He knows something's going on. So he says they're here. The horde is here. And they look on the camera, and it was one person, and it was Okoye. And Red Guardian's kind of like, oh, it's just one zombie, like no big deal. And then she has this speech about, the Queen of the Dead, which is Wanda and all that. And then Captain America pops up, and I'm like, oh, Cap and Red Guardian are going to fight. And Red Guardian's excited about it because he wants a battle with Captain America.
Yeah, that's a great scene.
Well, the next time you see Captain America, he's being thrown into the base because he's only half of a man. He's cut in half.
He has no legs.
No legs. But that created one of the creepiest scenes of anything I've ever seen. Him crawling through tents. The fight scene. He was rolling around with the shield, like with Red Guardian's shield. Like, it was one of the creepiest things I've ever experienced. This little half Captain America. It was the weirdest.
And he was still fierce.
And like he was giving Red Guardian a run for his money.
Yeah. Until
he didn't anymore. But it was pretty aggressive and violent and gory, and just creepy. Just the most eerie. This little skittering around little.
You were like, no thanks. Not.
I was like, oh.
You're like, I don't want to walk into a haunted house and encounter that.
It was creepy. It was just downright eerie. Yeah. That was weird.
So before we jump into episode 2, I am going to hit our ad break, and we're going to hear from our sponsor, Getaway Today. And then we'll come back and we'll dive into episode 2, because there was a character that we got to see in episode 2 that I loved seeing.
It's been a great show so far, but who's ready for an ad break? Did you know that the best way to keep our shows going is by supporting our sponsors? So let's get to know more about the travel experts at Getaway Today. They've been helping to make vacation dreams come true since 1990. And whether you want to visit the happiest place on earth or to travel to Orlando for a most epic adventure, they are there to help. Are you trying to find out which hotel is your best option, or which theme park tickets will work best for your visit? Are you concerned that you might need a last-minute change? No worries. Their travel experts will help you out. Looking to book a cruise but don't know where to start? Hey, they can help with that too. They will find the perfect cruise for your vacation, whether it's your first time or you're a well-seasoned cruiser. When you book your cruise with one of the Getaway Today experts, you will have a dedicated agent to help you every step of the way. They take care of the details so you can have the most fun. Getaway Today offers peace of mind travel, allowing you to cancel or make changes up to 72 hours before your trip. You will always have the most up-to-date vacation information, both pre-arrival and upon welcome. Getaway Today guarantees the best prices, with no hidden fees, and every time you book through Getaway Today, they will donate a portion back to a charitable organization in your area. And so far, over $4.5 million have been donated. So go ahead and dial 1-855-GETAWAY, that's 1-855-438-2929, and be sure to tell them that Walt's Apartment sent you. Or just click the link in our show notes for more information and the best deals to start your Disney, Universal Studios, or cruise vacation planning. What I'm trying to say is, if you like to travel, check out Getaway Today. All right, so now it's time to get back to enjoying that view from Walt's apartment. Let's get back to the show.
Definitely check out Getaway Today. I'm about to jump into some Hank Pym talk, so make sure you use some Getaway Today travel agents to help you get to the test kitchen, and you can try out some of their fantastic food. And Sean, where can they go rate some of that food?
Yeah, festivalfoodieapp.com.
Look at, see, bring it all together here.
Love it. I love it.
So in episode 2, we get to see Shang-Chi. Holy cow, this is amazing.
It was
so
cool.
We see,
and right off the bat, sacrifice again.
Yes, sacrifice, right. And in a sacrifice we did not expect to see.
No.
So it is Zhu Wenwu, or Zen, is it Zen Wenwu? Zen Zhu? Zhu Wenwu. Yeah. Shows up in the Ten Rings helicopter as we have Shang-Chi fighting off zombies, and he gets bit. His arm starts to get infected with the quantum virus. I will explain more about the quantum virus in a second, but that's what's turning everybody into zombies at this point. And Zhu takes the 10 rings, like wraps the ring around Shang-Chi's arm so the infection doesn't spread. So he then dies, and we get Shang-Chi for the rest of the series until a certain point. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to spoil that because I'm just teasing you. That's not a spoiler there. There's
That's
nothing.
okay. It's okay.
No, there's nothing there.
I forget everything, so it'll be like brand new for me.
It's okay. I didn't spoil anything. So I do want to touch on how the quantum virus came to be relevant in this version of zombies. So it's an encephalopathic virus. So it affects your brain. It came from the quantum realm where Janet Van Dyne was like there for a while. Yeah. And she, in her reality, she was there for 30 years isolated studying, and she contracted the virus, corrupted her brain. In 2018, Hank Pym traveled to the quantum realm to rescue her. She attacked her husband at that point, infecting him with the virus. The two returned to Earth and have infected Scott Lang in the comics. This is how it happened. And then Hope Van Dyne was able to escape, thankfully. But that's not the exact storyline we got in the comics, obviously, because we have Scott Lang's head.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was also weird. I just thought it was incredible to see, again, like this piece of the comics come to reality. We see lots of things like, hey, this originated at the Pym Labs.
Yeah.
So it was a great way to tie in the comics to what we got without making it too comic booky for people who don't know the lore.
Sure.
And seeing Shang-Chi,
that's always the fine line they have to tread, right? Like not everybody is a comic book person, but they like the comic book movies, so I'm glad that they touch on it, but they don't.
But they almost at this point have to touch on it because there are those of us who have some of the lore, and we're like, you're rewriting everything that I loved.
Yeah.
So even when they just feed us like tiny little morsels, we grab onto it and we're like, oh, we love it. Let's go.
Yeah, because they can do a good enough job of like giving you information without making it like an inside joke for people that aren't on the inside.
Yes. And it allows our brains, our comic book brains, to speculate what's coming next.
Yeah.
Who are they bringing in next? Where are we going next? And it gives us all of this momentum moving forward, because then Disney gets smart and they know we're going to create podcasts on it. Because guess what? There's things for us to talk about, things for us to look forward to, things for us to speculate on. Blogs get created, and we're creating like this buzz about it so they can listen in and they can
For
say
sure.
like, what do fans want to see?
Yeah.
How do we tie this in and sell movie tickets?
Right.
So
Right.
it's smart.
Absolutely. And with this, so the second episode, I think they did a really good job of like, so I think it was 5 years prior to
Yeah.
the story that we were given in the beginning. And it was Shang-Chi and what's his friend? What's Awkwafina's name? Can't think of her name. But it's kind of showing like the start of that, and they're right next to Pym Labs, and everybody's, what is it?
Katie Chen.
There we go. It's chaos, and there's bodies flying from buildings and people eating each other, and I think the best part of that intro scene is there's a Pym-sized zombie. I mean, this thing is as tall as a building, and it was like, well, how are they going to fix this? And it was all Shang-Chi's dad.
I promise those Pym-sized zombies come into play later.
Okay, cool. I'm excited to see it because that was
you'll
such
see
a really
them again.
well, because so in episode 1 we didn't mention Abomination was one of the zombies, and he's the one that threw Captain America. And I was like, oh, big zombies, like we're screwed. And then second episode comes around, I was like, oh, bigger zombies? We're way screwed.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yes. I love, and you've only gotten to see like the one episode with Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
His character development, and even in that first episode, I like the movie. I like Shang-Chi as a character. Yeah. Who we got in that episode, though, if we would have gotten that in his film, that character arc, that like vitality, that virtuousness, I would love him as a character 10 times more.
Sure. Yeah, because I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a good time. I thought it was a good story. But what we saw here, because after that 5 year in the past deal, like they bring you to present, and they're in kind of like a Mad Max-esque kind of scenario where they've got like modded out old cars, and they're fighting. Were they fighting Skrulls or Skrulls?
Mm-hmm.
Why that was not explained as much as I wanted it to be. But anyway,
I believe they were Skrulls. Yeah.
Yeah, they look like Skrulls.
Well, the thing is, like Skrulls, the premise of Skrulls is like they live among us. We don't know who they are.
Right.
So obviously, if they have this virus impacting their brain, they're not going to be able to shield and they don't care to shield.
And I think that was where I was lost. I couldn't tell if they were zombies or if they were just Skrulls.
No, I'm pretty sure they were zombies.
They were, right? Okay. And the reason I say it is it's hard in this show to tell who's a zombie and who's not, because, well, in some situations, because zombies are a lot more intelligent in this world.
I promise you it gets harder.
Oh shit. They're a lot more intelligent in this world than they are in like The Walking Dead, right? Like Walking Dead is just a bunch of walking zombies. In this one, there's intelligence.
They have wits,
There's wits, and like Hawkeye was shooting arrows like accurately. So they're fighting these Skrulls. But what did you say her name was again? Katie
Chen.
Katie. Her and Shang-Chi have now become kind of like this dynamic duo, both using the rings. And I was like, yes, I didn't realize you could separate them and still use them. And I was like really excited to see that.
Yeah, so that's like you can put them on someone else. And give them who wields.
I just
it's
thought
who wields the rings.
Together. I thought they all had to be in. I thought it was a set. I didn't realize you could separate them and they still had the same.
That's a comic book thing that they brought in that I love.
That's great.
So the thing is, you want the person wielding the rings to have their own martial arts background, their own abilities, because you need them to go hand in hand. But they are going to protect Katie because they were on her. And she did fantastic.
She did great. It's the only time I've liked Awkwafina ever. That was the one and only time I've liked her for some reason, her voice just kills me. I don't know. I think that's the thing.
Does she?
Yeah. But it was cool to see that. And also, I cannot think today. I'm so
it's okay, but I do want to clarify, like, if I'm wrong and the Skrulls weren't zombies, y'all don't come for me. Like,
well, they might not have been.
They could have just been bandits.
They could have been opportunistic. I couldn't tell.
That's the thing is, like,
they were riding motorcycles. You know what I mean?
They were probably just bandits, but Where the heck is Nick Fury when you need him?
I know. Where is that one-eyed guy? But yeah, I really enjoyed those two, and then Agent God, I cannot think of anybody's names today. The FBI guy.
Jimmy Woo.
There we go. He's always.
I had to look back at my notes. I was like,
Yeah.
who was in this episode? I'm trying not to spoil episode 3 and 4. So
Thank you. Every time we run into Jimmy Woo, he's a goofy, like clean cut, and when they introduce him in this episode, he still is that in the beginning. And even when he's kind of like Mad Max Road Warrior status, he's still kind of, goofy. He's still doing magic tricks, being a goof. But he's got a little bit more of an edge to him now. And I'm like, I like this version of him. Yeah.
Yeah. We get Baron Zemo in this episode.
Baron Zemo.
What do you want to say about Baron Zemo?
It was hard because was he justified in the actions that he took in all of this? And we'll get there. I'm having a hard time with Baron Zemo.
No, we're going there.
It's a zombie apocalypse, so it is acceptable to sacrifice people to save a larger group of people. Right. And so there, I can see a little bit of heroism there. Basically, what he does is all of these new heroes, he sacrifices them to save his. He's got the raft out at sea, and they're using it as like this sanctuary. But like, it made me think, and that I love that. Like, it made me think, like, what would I do if I was a leader? Like, what would I make that decision to sacrifice all these heroes? Because he's still giving them a heroic end because they're a sacrifice. But like, is he a villain or a hero for that? I don't know.
So basically, Baron Zemo has this raft. He has the raft, and we kind of think it's like a place of safe haven. And once you get there, you get stopped, and you have to prove that you have value to be there. Well, he allowed the heroes to stay. So all the heroes we've talked about from episode 1 and now 2 so far, he allows them to stay with the knowledge that he is going to sacrifice them to protect the raft. Doesn't happen.
Yeah, no. Because, I mean, essentially, the original heroes that we saw from episode 1 are on the raft. They've already met with Baron Zemo. Like, that was like the end of the first episode. They met with Baron Zemo. He takes them off to this place. And then the new heroes that we find, Jimmy Woo and Katie and Shang-Chi and this band of, rebels, I guess, they all link up. So now everybody's.
Did you see who was running the control room on the raft?
I don't know.
It was John Walker.
Was it real? I didn't even see that. That's hilarious. Oh my God.
John Walker. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So the Taliban with Namor, they attack the shit out of this raft.
Oh, in the best fashion. Because, the raft's underwater now. It's kind of a submarine. And now Namor and his band of mer people are just wreaking havoc. And it was awesome.
For sure. It was. Then we are getting like continuous like dreams, I guess, because Kamala doesn't really have vision. She has dreams.
Right.
And she keeps seeing I can't remember if this was episode 1 or 2, episode 2, I think. There's a being that is controlling things or trying to control things. And she keeps getting dreams about Wanda Maximoff as well.
Yeah.
Who we know is the Queen of the Dead. And basically that's what's happening as Blade is telling her, hey, we got to get off this freaking raft. It's about to Namor's coming. And the only way that they can do is, eject theirself from the raft because Zemo is intending to sacrifice them. So we get to see this really cool scene of everybody like fighting to try and get off the raft. And that's when we get to see another sacrifice.
Yeah.
Sean, do you want to take it from there? Yelena. Yeah.
Yeah, she has a chance to like, so yeah, there's escape pods and all these things. And she's basically like, hey, I got this, because she's, that's who they are. All of them are that. Her mom just did it. Her sister did it before. And now she's like, yeah, I have a chance to go and fix this. And so I'm going to. And so she takes off, and Red Guardian is just heartbroken. And it's
he's sick.
It's so sad to see it. And, but it's like,
because now he's just lost his wife.
Everything. He has nothing.
Mind you, his family isn't even real to begin with. It's real to him. But like, it's all a facade to his alias, essentially. Yeah. So he's just lost his wife, who self-sacrificed to save him and Yelena and the rest of the heroes. And then he's now lost Yelena, who is self-sacrificing so that this escape pod can essentially go. And because everybody knows Kamala is the key.
Right.
Kamala needs to get this device on a shield motherboard to connect to the Nova Core. Everybody is in like, this is how we save the world from the zombie apocalypse.
Which that was such a badass scene too, when she's fighting Namor. Oh my gosh. Like I love, so I really, I think a lot of people kind of shit all over Miss Marvel. And I wasn't one of them. I actually thought it was a charming show. I thought she was a charming character.
I think so too. I really don't know many people that shit on her, so that's crazy.
I read too many things on the internet.
Like I personally, I'm someone who would shit on Captain Marvel over Miss Marvel.
Yeah, for real. And so, so I love the position they gave her in this show to be true to Kamala Khan. Like she was still her, still every bit of her, but also I love you. Also, my daughter's leaving for school. She has rehearsals. But she was also a badass. Like she, she'll do something insanely like heroic or dangerous to her own being, and then be like, oh my gosh, like, so it was like it was still like a good mix between like hero and teenage girl. And I love that they didn't like turn her into like a jaded, hardened person, because I don't think that would have been true to her character.
And that's not what we need moving forward with her being one of the new Avengers.
Right.
Like the Avengers have hearts for humanitarianism.
Yes.
So the fact that she still has that, I just want to speak to Iman Vellani for a second, because she is probably one of the best MCU actors we've had to date, because not only does she love her own character in the comics, she was already a Miss Marvel fan from the comics before she got the role, but she embodied it perfectly. In every role that she does.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. I think that she is such a special character. I think she's an amazing actress, but like, Kamala Khan, I think is a necessary character for something like this, where you don't lose she didn't lose her innocence. She didn't lose her wholesomeness. She kept all of that intact, despite there being a zombie apocalypse. And there are moments where she's like, doing something amazing, like blowing up Namor's head, because he was trying to bite her. She had the transmitter in her hand, and he tried to bite her hand off,
and she
activated and blew his head up. And so it was like this badass moment, but then right after she's like, that was gross, so it was like, she kept the wholesomeness, and I love it.
She does. And I think that's what makes her so valuable as a character.
I agree.
Like the Marvels as a movie sucked. She was great.
Yeah, she was. I think she was the highlight of the movie. Absolutely.
And she was the only good thing about that movie. Like they could have done so much more with Photon, and they just absolutely dropped.
Photon pisses me off so bad.
Like when we got Photon in
I was so
WandaVision.
Excited. I was so excited.
That was incredible.
It was so cool. And I was like, this is going to be badass. And then I saw like
you killed your character.
Marvel's coming out, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, All right.
Please. So this is us saying MCU, Kevin Feige. We know you listen to us, obviously.
Yeah,
obviously. Please do something else with Monica Rambeau. Give
I
Photon
know.
redemption.
Like,
I'm okay if we never see Brie Larson again.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Like, I enjoyed her in her first appearance. I thought it was great. I thought
it was weird.
With it.
It was fine.
And I mean, it wasn't marvelous, but it was like it was good. It entertained.
It was a great way to introduce the Skrulls into the MCU.
Hey, she's gone, and oh, she's back, and oh, she's gone again. And then it was like, oh, now she's back for this, and it's like, oh, come, okay, whatever.
Like, listen, she introduced the Skrulls. Now she can go away.
But Monica Rambeau, like, unassuming character. Didn't know she had powers. Like, it was such a cool story that they could have done so many.
She's a mutant. Like, it brings the true mutant.
She's a mutant. It was the bridge. Great. It was the bridge, and they squandered that opportunity.
Okay. We were just getting
but then from a representation standpoint, like, let another like black actress have a role. Yes. Like, it was a lot of things. It was just a lot of things.
It was. Just the way they tied her in initially was fantastic, and I just again dropped the ball just like they did with Gore the God Butcher. That's probably my number 2 thing that the MCU's done recently. That I'm just like, what the hell?
I'm with you. I am so with you.
But they did not drop the ball on MCU with this Marvel Zombies in the first 2 episodes. No. Also, that scene where in true Russian fashion, Yelena is saying goodbye. She, is doing her self-sacrifice, pours herself a drink.
I know. But then also like just so them, like, her saying things to Red Guardian that he had said to her before. And he's like, don't use my words against me, just like, they're still kind of like, cause sure. Like, it's his dog. That's her dad,
Yeah.
But like,
we say dad, if you're not watching us on video right now, you're listening to us on audio, go check out the YouTube video. Cause we're doing air quotations. We're doing air quotes.
Because like, in this, he's not her father, by blood, but, I don't know what the timeline is here, like, because it is kind of like a multiverse type story.
Yeah.
So I don't know like what their relationship was leading up to this point, but like, if you look at it just from like the Thunderbolt standpoint, like, he made an effort, like, in those last few years to like be a dad.
He loved her.
He loved her. And so to see her, I'm getting a little sad about it.
Don't cry, please.
I know, to see her sacrifice herself, but also kind of like keep their cheeky relationship right till the end was like, it was really special to see that.
It was. So that is pretty much where they ended episode 2. And oh my goodness, I cannot wait for you to see 3 and 4.
I can't wait. I'm going to watch them right after this because we're going to record the next episode at some point, and I want to see what happens. And I have so many questions. Like, is Wanda acting on hunger because she's a zombie and feasts on people, or does she have an actual plan? I don't know.
Get that answer.
And I want that answer. I want to know, do the Infinity Stone, because I know Thanos is a part of it. I don't know how, but I know I've seen something showing he is part of this. So I want to know.
Oh, and I'm just going to say that this keyword infinity is the key word in the next 2 episodes.
Okay. I want to see how that plays into it. And then, as morbid as this sounds, but it is this show, because we found from 5 minutes into the damn thing, like, people are dying. Who's going to die next? Like, who? So I have so many things. I was wondering if Spider-Man would come into it. So I hope that I get, some of these answers. And then, obviously the overarching question is going to be, is there a cure and do they find it? So I'm really excited to see what happens next.
You will get an answer to a lot of those questions, not all of them, but a lot of them in the next 2 episodes. So I can't wait until we come back and have our next conversation about it.
I'm excited.
I will say that we have an absolutely free Discord here at Walt's Apartment Productions, and I dropped it into our apartment lounge and said, hot take, Marvel Zombies is the best series that MCU has put out on Disney Plus to date, and every single person in the lounge agreed with me. It's not often that I can get these people to agree with me, so
I'm sure I will by the end of it as well, because already so only halfway through. I did. For some reason I thought they were doing 8 episodes of this. It's 4 total.
Did they only release 4? Maybe.
I don't know.
And they're going to release 4 more?
I'm
Maybe
gonna look at
I'm
those.
behind. I'm looking it up as we speak
Let's see.
because, yeah, it's 4 episodes.
That's 4 episodes.
It's a
For some reason,
mini-series.
I thought it was 8.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's
It's a
cool.
part
That's
of
pretty
phase.
cool.
Yeah, it's phase 6. So let's see.
Okay.
It's only, listen, we want more. We want more.
I want more of it, and I'm glad
You
that I
haven't
have at
even
least
seen
2
the last
episodes.
2.
I know. I'm so excited that I have some left because I'm so impressed by this show. Again,
Yes.
from the animation style, which is just so like graphic novel-y, like raw.
It's clean.
It's clean. It's just so good and dark.
Except for it's not clean because it's gory.
It's gory.
There's
It's
blood
really
and
gory.
guts and violence. And if they would have done it any other way, I would probably be complaining because there are some things that need to stay true to source material. Yeah. And as far as the violence of zombies goes, we do not need to Disneyfy that.
No. And, there were parts when Namor was literally cutting people in half with his hand. And I was like, okay, well,
love him.
All right.
Zombie Namor. So I think that was the point. Zombie Namor was the point when I reached out to Lewis and I said, if you're not watching Marvel Zombies, what's wrong with you? Because they already have your favorite and my favorite.
Yeah.
They pulled from every inch of the comics and MCU to bring us all of the best characters.
Yeah.
And there's still more to come, Sean, that you have
not
seen.
But I'm going to say one more thing, and that is, I am such a Red Guardian stan. Obviously, I love him so much, and I'm not disappointed in this show either. He is one of the funniest characters of anything I've ever watched, and unintentionally. And I think the one thing that it has carried over from this between Black Widow, Thunderbolts, and now Zombies is he is like he's like one of us. He's a super fan of these people. He's like Captain America. And he's like so excited because he gets to fight Captain America. Namor comes out. Namor. Like, it's just like the funniest thing because he's the announcer of the show. Like, who's up next? It's the funniest thing. So I'm glad that he's a part of it because I think the world needs more Red Guardian. But I'm also such a big fan of Kamala Khan. I think that Shang-Chi, I'm really excited to see what happens next with him because he did such a great job in the first in his first appearance in this show. I'm so excited to see what happens next.
Well, I can't wait to hear your take on the next 2 episodes the next time we get to record. So this is part 1 of our Marvel Zombies recording.
Yes.
Before we close out the show, I want to make sure that we send everybody to check out our sponsors Getaway Today, who we've already talked about. Where in the Park. Go check out Where in the Park podcast on YouTube or anywhere that you are hearing your podcast. They are not currently pushing out anything on their website for Where in the Park, but we are excited for them to get that back in motion. And Sunken City Design from the twisted yet incredible mind of Louis Medina. So go check out Lou.
He's so talented. He's so talented.
He is.
I still need to get my shirts from him. I need to buy something. He is so talented. He has such cool stuff.
He does. So he's on Instagram right now. His website is also being revamped, and he's got some really cool projects going on, some service projects, some gallery work that he's doing. So go check out Sunken City Designs, We're in the Park podcast, and Getaway Today. And Sean, one more time before we head out, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, so I'm really active on our podcast page. It's kind of become my like primary social media. So if you head over to Instagram at Magic on Main Street Official, you can find me also on TikTok at the Mad Hatter with 2 D's and an underscore at the end. And please check out the food app. If you like food at all, if you eat in Disneyland at all, and coming to Walt Disney World soon, if you eat in the parks at all, get this download. It's not a download yet. It's just a web app, but it's going to be in the app store soon. But you can go to the website, festivalfoodieapp.com. Please make a checklist, check things off, rate and review. It's free. Like, you don't have to, just go get it. It's awesome. I promise.
Do it. Yeah. And then you get an authentic review, and you can leave an authentic review without it having to be the social media polished.
Exactly.
I want to be recognized.
Real reviews from real people.
We love that. And that's what we gave you here tonight. We've loved Marvel Zombies, what we've talked about so far. We're going to come back for part 2 when Sean gets to watch the next 2 episodes.
Anytime after tonight.
We will be in touch because we'll get that out soon. Thank you for joining us,
Of
Sean.
course. Thank you for having me. This is a pleasure.
Yes, of course. So this has been Walt's Apartment Presents. The Marvel Tribe talks about Marvel Zombies. We'll see you soon.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here age relives fond memories of the past. And here youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.